It's been a while since I've written in my journal. Flipping through its pages now is like a descent into a desperate man's last chance for greatness. What started as a simple desire for purpose has turned into a twisted and deranged nightmare woven by an unstable mind trapped in this purgatory. If only I had seen then what's so clear to me now. I arrived in the zone 30 days ago, a fresh, bright-eyed rookie, ready to take on the world. An easy couple of months in the zone would equal several years of salary, or so I was told. However, it quickly became apparent it was all lies. Life in the zone is anything but rewarding. The things a man must do just to survive here. Few can make it through their first day without ending up in the obituary report, but somehow, against all odds, I've thrived here. This horrific lifestyle coming so easy to me, or should I say, us. From the very first moment, I've felt this presence lurking within me, gnawing at my mind. For a while there, I thought I'd lost myself, gone crazy, but now, I know the truth. You really are guiding me north. The further I go, the stronger your presence becomes, the stronger we become. This whole time, I've been covered by the shadow of your hand, and I am done denying it. The void I thought you created has been within me all along, and now I believe you're the only one that can make me whole. You've shown me all of this, kept me alive, gave me the skills to make it this far, and tried opening my mind to the truth. The truth I wasn't yet ready to accept, but can no longer run from. I am here to bring balance to the zone. I am a necessary evil. In the last episode, I was determined to spend more time in Jupiter and Zatan, trying to live my best life in the regions. They're both huge areas, and I felt maybe I judged them too harshly in my initial assessment. Well, I wish I could say they grew on me, but they really didn't. I did hours of tasks, stash hunts, and freeform exploration throughout them both, and really don't have much to show for it. Just a new rifle and shotgun that were basically lateral upgrades. Hey, at least I can say I gave them both an honest try. Twice. Luckily, there's still a handful of big hotspot areas I've yet to see, and that's what we're tackling today. Before we can do any of that though, I'm gonna need some money. I have a good amount of basic materials, but ammo has been the constant struggle to keep a solid stock of. Armor-piercing rounds are just so costly to craft or purchase, and these northern enemies laugh at anything less. So to kick off our final sprint towards the end, I'm going to sit down and farm for a few hours. In the interest of transparency, at the start of this session I increased task rewards from 0.9 to 1.1, artifact spawn chance from 0.2 to 0.4, increased ammo drops from 1 to 3, and finally enabled ammo and medical supply spawn chance in stashes. Oh, and made my campfires heal faster too. Now to me, on paper these seem like very minor changes, but I'm unsure of how they'll actually feel in practice, so let's just find out. I'm only trying to alleviate some of what I believe to be overly grindy farming at this stage of the game. While trekking south to the Red Forest, I come across this dead loner legend. Sadly, there's no sign of what killed the poor bastard. No Witcher mode for me this time. He didn't even have the exo recipe either. I still need to find that damn thing. I heard distant gunfire earlier over here, and I think it's from the structure ahead. Turns out to be some Monolith Sin group activity. Now, I could comment on how I feel these areas simply do not feel like they're built for encounters like these, and the combat sandbox actively works against them, but I've beaten that to the ground. Guess I'll just get good, scrub. They're further down the road on my second approach. Our buddy Homer actually aggroes them before I do. Looks like on the reload the group was evenly split between Sin and Monolith before they were grouped together. They all appear to be aggroed onto something unseen or my buddy, so the fight is more of a skeet shooting session than anything else. None of them have anything too crazy. This RPK seems cool, but it'd just be another lateral upgrade at this point, so meh. Looks like those bastards killed an eco and science bro and left them on the side of the road. Animals. My detector shows an anomaly inside this structure. Looks like I gotta get down into the sewer system for it. I briefly look around for an entrance, but give up pretty quickly. So hey, listen everyone, we're very close to hitting that first major 1,000 subscriber milestone, and I couldn't be more grateful for all the positive support over the last month. A lot of you watching my videos aren't subscribed yet, so why don't you do me a favor and click that button like it owes you money. Teach that like button a thing or two while you're at it. Consider supporting future content through the join button, and be sure to drop in and say hi in the community Discord. Together, I feel we can grow this channel into something special. Having a strange feeling on my final approach to the Red Forest, I preload my shotgun with some slugs. It's been a minute since I've gotten an Iron Man Ender load in, better be prepared just in case. Holy shit guys, I think I'm Spider-Man. As the emission approaches, Homer will not respond to my commands, and I hear him in a gunfight while I seek shelter. The teleport companion button has never worked for me, so the best company I've had so far dies out there all alone. The following post-emission storm reminds me of why I play this game. While I get this yellow stash and the incredible atmosphere, it would appear some more monolith forces have tracked me down and would like to have a talk with me about an extended warranty. This whole encounter is just chef's kiss. I know I've been down on it lately, but when everything in Gamma clicks, it just fucking clicks. After making sure no more are gonna funnel in after me, I checked them all for anything good. Nothing too crazy on them or a stash I have in the toilet here. Now I'm pretty full, so I drop a load in the shitter. Maybe I'll remember to come back for it, maybe not. After getting this stash near the entrance, I can't help but mourn the loss of my bro. Here's to you, man. The best friend I ever had. I have too much stuff, so I make another deposit I may or may not remember to pick up later. There's a yellow stash in this mine. Looks like the Sin I killed, I don't know, what was it, like 4 or 5 in-game days ago, are still dead here on the floor. Weird. It's so satisfying watching a poltergeist die to an anomaly. They're just like big meat fireworks. there's a task in this tunnel. Might as well grab that stash in the electric field while I'm here too. On my way out of the zone, this big chimera is waiting to ask me to dance. I politely decline, but he's an aggressive son of a bitch. This goes on for a while, so long that his girlfriend comes over in a jealous rage. You know, I actually think chimeras offer the best mutant combat experience. Sure, they're easily avoidable one-on-one, but they're a very active fight nonetheless, especially these bigger tanky ones. They just feel like they require more brain power than nearly every other mutant encounter. Well, with that taken care of, I have a lot of stashes I can hit up to the south, and with these new settings, what better time to pop them all open and farm some southern tasks in the process? Yep, we're gonna need a montage. I have to say, coming back down into these southern zones for some farming has been quite pleasant. Even the stash hunting minigames just flow better down here for me. This half of the game is so damn cozy. Anyways, I've got my eyes on Agroprom, particularly that yellow stash in the military base I got in the second episode and put off. There's also that dumb helicopter task there, which I've aggroed once before, and yep, I think it's another terrible task, just in case you're wondering. Well, now I have an RPG, so I'd wager it went from awful to trivial. Let's craft some ammo and find out. There's a prime delivery I gotta make real quick first. Dude overnighted some cheesy poofs, so I gotta be sure to honor this one. Oh, he'll join me. I'm still reeling over Homer, but what better way to replace that painful void than with a new pet? I leave him in town while I set out to deal with this chopper. Haven't fired the RPG before, and I'm not sure what to expect with it or the chopper's health pool. Ah yes, from awful to trivial indeed. Predictable. Well, that's done with at least. Gonna grab the stash in the cabin and sleep until daylight. It's time to hunt us some military. Our boy here is eager to get himself killed, which he does in record time, mind you, and I swear these mercs just spawned right next to me. Alright, this is gonna be a lot. Pretty sure there's lingering 2 times population factor at play in this base. Time to get to work. and with that, all their base are belonged to me. That was one hell of a long fight with several near-death moments. Can I just say, I'm getting really tired of post-healing. It's fine in the early game, but just feels so bloated at this point. Taking multiple meds to heal up, then multiple stimulants to counter their side effects, it's just exhausting. I roam through their base for loose loot, pick up anything I can, and haul it all back to the Agroprom stash. Nothing particularly great, but tons of materials and ammo to disassemble. While making my deposit, these few bandits walk right up to the hole in the wall and nearly kill me. After all that, dying to a couple of bandits would have been pretty ironic. I don't want to leave all this loot here. Butcher isn't that far and he typically has an anomalous pack. Gonna make a quick detour and grab one from him. With all that hard-earned loot secured, I think I've earned myself a nice dinner with the boys. Gonna hit up the final stashes I have here and swing down to Cordon for that other military task, which I'm sure is the one that's incredible. Looks like there's some mercs at the camp with one of my stashes. Time to show these poor dudes just what kind of a one-man army I am. Gotta be honest, I keep forgetting I have this Forsaken P90 equipped, and I have tons of ammo for it too. Better start burning through it already. They're carrying more uninspiring loot. Can't expect to find anything too crazy really. I'm sure I've seen most of what's possible in all but the highest level areas. These stashes aren't too crazy either. Even with my changes to the settings, I still feel like they're mostly pretty balanced. Granted, I probably wouldn't make these changes until the midpoint of the game, since the early game feels well tuned to me. Back in garbage, I'm like 3 or 4 hours into this session already, and honestly, this whole tour has reinvigorated me. Not just from being overgeared in these areas, but the game loop is that cozy stalker experience I've come to know and love. I really can't stress enough just how drastically different these areas play compared to the northern regions. They're clearly from two opposing schools of design. But we're very close to seeing if the remaining areas invoke this same feeling soon enough. Just got some business to clear up in Cordon first. I have a few tasks here I'll bang out along the way, but really I'm only here for the task to blow up military vehicles. I said I was determined to finish all these expanded tasks, and I meant it. On my way to kill this mutant mark, I'm surprised to see a merc between a burrer fighting a group of bowers. Quite the sight in Cordon. What's perhaps more surprising to me is the burrer wasn't even the target, the damn bowers were. You'd think they want the telepathic monster killed, not the damn pigs. Though we all know a group of bowers is the true threat of the zone, I suppose. I swing by the farm really quick just for some more FMJs and notice my next mark is being picked off by something. For some reason, I never learned that there's often a sniper on the bridge. You'd think I would have pieced it together when I saw my marks being picked off, but nope. Sometimes I only learn the same way the people in the Alien franchise learns, by sticking my face straight into the danger. Looks like my targets were just some bandits the military sniper was practicing on. Maybe one of them looked like Burt Reynolds or something. Dude, you see, I literally just wiped out a military base full of like 30 armed soldiers, but these boers chase my ass down and nearly end me. These things are hell spawn. Back into Rookie Village, now that I'm a seasoned Chad, I tell the Rooks story of the North and the shit I've seen. They don't believe a word of it and think they're all going to get filthy rich. Damn fools. Better hope I don't catch you boys outside these walls. Time to repair some military threads and sneak into that base down there. I could fight my way in, but I've yet to try out this disguise system and want to see how it works. With my RPG and some extra explosives in hand, I make way to the base. I'm entirely uncertain how the disguise system functions, so I'm gonna just walk around nice and slow-like without any weapons drawn. Now, I'd assume once I start blowing up their fucking vehicles, all hell will break loose. On the other hand, these expanded tasks have been anything but logical thus far, so it's up in the air what's actually going to happen. Standing way in the back and so far so good, but I'm concerned with the closer ones. I kickflip the explosives in place and casually walk away. Surely they'll aggro me off these, right? I mean, they're looking right into my eyes. These expanded tasks are so dumb. We're what, 0 for 5? I'll never do them again after this playthrough. After getting out of those filthy military clothes and sleeping until morning, I share more stories with some other rooks over breakfast. Again, they look on and laugh at me in disbelief. Damn fools. Well friends, it is time. Let's see some new lands. I have an incredibly uneventful run back up to Rostock. Should have just fast traveled there, honestly. After some crafting and shopping action, I make my way for the army warehouse. Destination, Dead City. There's a couple of stashes I can hit here again, roam around and watch the typical duty and freedom shenanigans play out. This lone expert bandit was a Chad. Damn guy nearly killed me. Definitely should have loaded some APs for him, but I wasn't expecting this much of a resistance. Would have died for sure if he didn't get stuck reloading. I'll have to take out my anger on the mercs that are inevitably up ahead. Of all the snipers I've used so far, I really like the Scout. It's not quite the agile arcade sniper I've grown to love from Counter-Strike 1.6, but it feels and sounds damn good. Basically, it's just a fun button to press. Finally, a new area and one that I have no idea what to expect. I've never seen the zone, and my first impression is cool. Looks like a city block of apartments from the distance. Now, I do have a sneaking suspicion there's a merc base here, either from radio chatter or seeing it as a starting location for them, and I really don't have much to do here. I'd like to conserve as much of my ammo as I can for the journey through Limansk and Deserted Hospital, but still, let's see what kind of shit we can get ourselves into here. Well, as is usually the case, I get surprise jumped by a leaping enemy in the foreign land. I swear that's basically happened in every area. While dealing with that lurker's friend, I kept hearing Merc chatter. Yep, looks like there's a base here. Well, I should probably just stick to my plan and carry on, but what can I say? I appear to be all out of gum. Yeah, I know. I was kicking some ass, right? You probably thought I had that on my first try. The music kicked in and everything. Frankly, I'm sure I could clear that, but I really want to see the northern areas. This place isn't a far run, and I think I basically already know what to expect here, so instead of wasting all my ammo and over-encumbering the shit out of myself, let's just push forward. These mercs get to live and see another day. For now. Here we are in Limansk. My very first impression is, hell yeah. We're walking down some tight neighborhood streets. Let's fucking do it. If encounters are spread nicely here, this is gonna be fun. I just have to point out how much the layout of the area has changed how I'm playing. You can clearly see it. Suddenly I have that tension back, not just because this is uncharted territory, but because the level design is facilitating it. Not too far in, I come across the first group of enemies, some monolith scum. Guess I know what to expect here now. Appears to be set up like an occupied checkpoint of sorts. I've stockpiled so many AP slugs that I've neglected to use. I'm gonna really try to use them at my P90 over my rifles, anywhere that I can. I know a lot, if not all, of Stalker is based on real locations, so forgive my ignorance, but whether or not this one is doesn't subtract from the fact that this feels harrowing in contrast to most areas I've seen. This simply looks like a war-torn neighborhood that's been occupied in the aftermath of the catastrophe we know transpired. It carries with it far more weight than vast open lands or industrial complexes. This is instead very tight and personal. Again, it's not just in its level design, but its design aesthetic. Also, about a minute into the place, I ran into a few monoliths guarding a choke point, setting the stage and putting me into a heightened sense of alert. To speak bluntly, in 5 minutes this place has achieved something Jupiter and Zatan failed to do in 10 hours. I'm getting whiplash from the quality varying so greatly, but I very clearly geek out about this kind of stuff. As I make my way forward, cutting through apartments and courtyards, I'm reminded of set pieces from games like GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, or even Half-Life 2, in all the best ways. I don't know what game this area is from, but it was clearly well crafted as a more linear approach to the adjacent area. I'm surprised that this bridge doesn't have a few soldiers' eyes trained on it at all times. I was certain I'd get lit up from the buildings ahead. Either way, I'm very much on my toes here, expecting an ambush at any moment. Clearly, these guys didn't like me killing their friend. After dealing with them, I run around and clear my corners to make sure more aren't about to funnel in. I didn't even notice this one wasn't actually dead until I approached him. Bastard got me. I've only seen this martyrdom once before, and he nearly succeeded this time. Space anomalies, huh? Haven't seen these yet. They look friendly. Don't feel like reading about what they do. Best just to avoid them. There is a lot of me bumping into invisible walls like this that I cut out. I just really like this area and was testing the limits of where I could actually go. Nothing wrong with it being more confined and linear, of course. I found it to be a very welcome change, actually. These monoliths caught me in a bit of an odd angle, and I couldn't get comfortable footing against them. Eventually, I didn't even notice that one worked his way down to the left. I thought I was getting shot from somewhere behind that bus ahead of me. On my second approach, I notice I can just hop this fence here. This should let me get a much tighter angle with some cover. Maybe I can get the jump on them too. Better shoot myself up with a cocktail of performance-enhancing drugs for this one. I was already stockpiling these before, but I'm pretty sure I've gotten even more since I've improved the stashes. Time to stop hoarding them all. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to burn through the P90 ammo reserve I have, and I'm sure some of you are thinking, surely you see how good and useful it is now, don't you? Honestly, no. I still don't like how it controls. I've gotten used to it, but as much as I'd want to love it, I simply do not. I wish it was just a strong primary instead of this gimped tertiary slot weapon. Still, I can't complain too much. I make quick work of the immediate forces with it and my rifle. This construction site is a cool battleground. I'm not sure of where monolith scum will spill out from. On my way up the stairs, I keep stopping to jump and spin around, making sure I'm fully aware of any potential dangers. I can only imagine this area if I had left it on 2 times population. We'll test that out another time. It's probably pretty fun. Once I'm fairly certain it's clear, I stop to full heal and hydrate. Have I mentioned how I'm tired of spending several minutes post-healing yet? Oh, that's just dirty. This hole in the floor is purposely there to trap you in this damn anomaly. I was attracted to the campfire like a moth to the flame. Damn anomaly nearly killed me too. Struggled to jump out because of the boxes. Finally, it's time to loot and over-encumber myself. I drink a liquid spinach bottle to help ease the burden. Sadly, that legend didn't have the exoplans yet again. Let me know where I should go to farm the good exoskeletons and the recipes, please. Uh-oh, this hole in the ground gives me Left 4 Dead drop-down vibes. Gonna drop and trigger a mass horde event. Appears to be another occupied checkpoint. I don't scout very well before taking a shot and face the wrath of many unseen guns. Okay, let's see how cheeky we can breaky this situation. Maybe if I can just get some sort of high ground to kick things off. Well, that's working well. I try to see what else I can exploit, but it all fights me. I have to do the worm like some signature wrestling move to make some of these shots work. They're all just funneling up to me, which is fine by me. My plan worked out quite nicely. Finally, it took me a minute to realize there's a sniper in that tower. I don't get to kill him though. He goes down and I can't finish him. I spend a lot of the post-emission dismantling stuff and sorting my inventory, determining what I actually need. I'm already very heavy and still need to make it through the deserted hospital, another area I haven't seen. Even though I'm already on the brink of being overweight, you know I need to go loot these guys. It's a problem. Nothing some more liquid spinach can't alleviate. This area looks sick. That building ahead with the emission sky parting looks great. This really made me chuckle. Up top, tucked in a corner, there's one lone trainee that's just been sitting there this whole time. Dude heard his squad being wiped out and just sat there cowering in fear. That's some grade A accidental storytelling. That sniper gets up again and I can't seem to kill him, only down him. Lucky bastard. Well, that's it for Limansk. I'm sure there's some branching paths that I missed, but overall it was a well-designed linear area. On my way out, I'm already reflecting on it. A bit sad that my coveted first experience is now over, but very happy to say I thoroughly enjoyed the area. I hope on subsequent runs the enemy placement isn't too predictable and there's a possibility of mutant spawns, but a great experience nonetheless. Finally, the Deserted Hospital, a location that's been on my mind since I first saw its name. Hard not to let your imagination go wild with such an alluring title, but still, I've tried to keep my hype in check. The sun is starting to set too. Darkness will potentially fall while I'm here. The perfect setting. Immediately, it's nothing like I imagined. It's actually more intriguing. Looks like it's sunken into the ground and in a state of near complete destruction. Aesthetically, it totally subverted my expectations. Awesome. As I cautiously make my way inside, I start taking some gunfire from somewhere I can't quite pinpoint. Finally, I see he was standing on the roof of the building across. My scope was just barely blocking my line of sight. As I continue to roam around this area, I'm absolutely delighted to see such a location here. It's got an interesting flow. Yeah, it's linear, but it makes sense given it's a nearly completely destroyed hospital. On the ground floor, I don't know if I just got lucky in my approach or if this mounted gunner is broken. He never opened fire at me. Didn't even react when I was making eye contact with him either. Pushing onward, the atmosphere here is awesome. It's eerie and claustrophobic with encounters spread out just enough to keep you on your toes. I do wish it capitalized a bit more on its horror aspect though, mostly because the aesthetics here are so damn good. Perhaps I'll need to revisit at night and see if there's some mutant activity because I'm really enjoying the area. In the next hall's ground floor, I come across another mounted gun that I'm pretty sure had a direct line of sight on me at one point. Are these guys just broken? Either way, I put him down and keep moving, but sadly that's the end of my short visit in the hospital. A very strong location, if not a little barren. It's so short and compact though that it's fine. Really, it worked in its favor by not overstaying its welcome. Still, I do hope that on return visits, it surprises me with some bloodsuckers or something. With that, we find ourselves at the Chernobyl power plant. But it'll have to wait for another day because it's time to end today's journey, my friends. As I crawl my way back to Zatan, barely able to walk from all the loot I'm trying to smuggle out, I can't help but reflect on the whole journey it took to arrive here. The feeling of the end fast approaching is both satisfying and a little heartbreaking, as I've now seen the majority of the game's areas. Very soon we'll be tying up loose ends and putting an end to the zone's mysteries, but best not to dwell on that. We're not done yet. No, not by any means. There's still some major areas to explore with sights to see, and I think I'm ready to jump straight into them in the next one. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Again, we're nearly at 1,000 subs, so do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe. Click that join button if you really want to help the channel grow. Come hang out with me in the community Discord, catch my live streams here or on Twitch, and go have a good day or something.